When they opened Elias's workshop after he was gone, they found something unusual. It wasn't a collection of grand masterpieces, nor was it an empty room. Instead, they found a graveyard of potential. There were hundreds of drawings, neatly filed away. Hundreds of blueprints, mapped out with mathematical precision. Hundreds of brilliant revolutionary ideas waiting for the day they would finally become something great. But as they walked deeper into the space, the tragedy became clear. Almost everything was unfinished. A lifetime of incredible dreams, completely frozen in raw wood and yellowed paper. People in the village searched for the reason. They looked at the dust settling on the workbench, and they wondered, was Elias lazy? No. Anyone who knew him knew he woke before the sun. Was he afraid of hard work? Not at all. He possessed the kind of discipline most people could only dream of. The truth was much more subtle and far more dangerous. Elias was always waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect day, the perfect opportunity, the perfect version of himself. And while he waited, standing still in the center of his room, life quietly moved forward without him. When Elias was young, everyone in the valley knew him as a dreamer. He lived in a small, rustic village tucked away between ancient forests and towering, mist-shrouded mountains. He possessed a natural gift. Every day, from morning until dusk, he worked with wood. He understood the grain, the scent of fresh pine, the weight of the oak. But Elias didn't want to build ordinary things. He didn't want to make the standard chairs, tables, and fences that the villagers required. He had a grand dream. One day, he was going to create a masterpiece, a sculpture so breathtakingly beautiful, so emotionally moving, that people from distant lands would travel across oceans and mountains just to stand in its presence. His father, a practical man who understood the fleeting nature of time, once watched him staring at a massive, untouched block of timber. He asked him a simple question. "Elias, when will you begin?" Elias smiled, looking at the horizon with absolute confidence. "Soon, Father. I just need better tools first. The chisels I have are old, and the iron is soft. For a masterpiece, everything must be exactly right." And he believed it. He genuinely, completely believed it. Because preparing felt like progress. Buying tools felt like progress. Learning new techniques felt like progress. Planning the design from every conceivable angle felt like progress. Everything felt like movement. Except the one thing that actually mattered. Everything felt like movement, except actually moving. Years passed. Then, decades. Elias became incredibly skilled. His hands grew strong and steady. His knowledge of the craft became greater than any master artisan the village had ever seen. His workshop slowly filled up with everything a creator could ever desire. The finest steel blades, rare imported wood, and custom benches designed for absolute precision. And yet, the central masterpiece remained untouched, sitting under a heavy canvas shroud in the corner of the room. "Next year," he told himself every winter, "when I am just a bit more experienced, when my hands are even steadier, when the village orders slow down, and I have more uninterrupted time." But every time the imagined perfect moment arrived, reality interfered. A new reason to wait would inevitably appear. The weather was too damp for the wood. The lighting in the room wasn't quite right. His mind was too distracted. The strange, intoxicating thing about waiting is that it never feels like giving up. It doesn't look like failure. Instead, it masquerades as wisdom. It feels responsible, It feels intelligent. It feels safe. You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I am not avoiding my dream. I am protecting it. I am just getting ready. But readiness is a horizon that recedes the closer you walk toward it. One morning, a heavy silence fell over the valley, and Elias entered his workshop. It was the exact same workshop where he had spent his entire existence. He stood in the center and slowly looked around. He saw the same walls, the same neatly arranged tools, the same unfinished dream resting under decades of dust. But something had fundamentally changed. He had changed. He looked down at his hands. They were no longer the vibrant, steady hands of the young dreamer in the village market. They were frail, deeply wrinkled, and shaking with the unmistakable tremors of age. His physical strength had faded. His eyes, once sharp enough to spot a hairline fracture in wood, were tired and dim. And for the first time in his 70 years, Elias understood something incredibly painful. He had not been waiting for the right moment at all. He had been paralyzed by the fear of the wrong one. He wasn't chasing perfection. He was running away from the possibility of a mistake. He was so terrified of starting badly, so afraid that his reality wouldn't match the flawless image in his mind, that he chose to never start at all. He had protected his dream so fiercely that he strangled it to death. Despondent, Elias walked out of his workshop that afternoon, seeking the open air to clear his heavy chest. At the edge of the village, near the old stone bridge, he saw a young boy sitting alone on a tree stump. The boy was deeply focused, carving a small wooden bird out of a discarded scrap of pine. It was, by all objective standards, a terrible piece of work. It was completely imperfect. The wings were entirely uneven. The head was blocky, and the shape was rough and asymmetric. Elias watched the child for a long time. His master's eye cringed by the lack of technique. Finally, he stepped forward, smiled softly, and asked, "Little one, why are you spending your day making something so imperfect?" The boy didn't look upset. He simply looked up, wiped a stray wood shaving from his forehead, and grinned. He answered, "Because I can improve it tomorrow. But today, I just wanted it to exist." Those words hit Elias like a physical blow. They echoed in the silence of his mind. The boy, in his innocence, understood a universal truth that the master artisan had spent a lifetime ignoring. A finished, imperfect thing has a future. It can be sanded down, it can be reshaped, it can be learned from, and it can become better. But an unfinished, perfect idea, it remains nothing. It is a ghost that disappears the moment you close your eyes. Too many people do not lose their dreams because they try and fail. Failure is active. It leaves a scar, but it also leaves a lesson. No, most people lose their dreams because they protect them from the very possibility of failure. They wait until the bank account is overflowing. They wait until they feel completely confident. They wait until the market is stable, until the kids are grown, until the weather clears up, until everything is absolutely perfect. But you must understand this. The perfect moment is a mythical place that does not exist. It is a mirage in the desert of procrastination. Your dream does not need a flawless, grand beginning. It doesn't care about your luxury tools, your absolute certainty, or your pristine blueprints. It simply needs a beginning, any beginning. If you want to write a terrible first page. If you want to build a clumsy first prototype. If you want to create, let your first attempt be ugly, uneven, and rough around the edges. Start before you feel ready, because the feeling of readiness is a reward for action, not a prerequisite. Improve while you are walking, not while you are standing still. Because if you don't, one day the sun will set on your horizon. You will look back at the workshop of your life, at all the tools you gathered and all the plans you made, and you will realize the most heartbreaking truth of all. The perfect moment you were waiting for wasn't waiting for you in the future. It was the messy, imperfect moment you already had.